Unit 8, page 66, Man on the Moon, by John Barber. At 3:56 a.m. today, July the 21st, 1969, something that scientists once only dreamed about came true. 2 American astronauts landed on the moon in the spacecraft called the Eagle. They planted a flag and talked to the president by radio telephone. Millions of people watched on television as the astronauts walked on the moon's surface, 240,000 miles away. This amazing journey to the moon in Apollo 11, a space rocket, took 3 days and 4 hours. On board were 3 courageous astronauts, Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin. Michael Collins did not walk on the moon, but Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went into the tiny Eagle spacecraft and made the hazardous journey down to the moon's surface. The world watched and waited for 6 hours before the hatch opened and Neil Armstrong came out of the spacecraft. He was the first human being ever to step on the moon. He climbed down the ladder and jumped about 3 feet from the bottom step onto the surface of the moon at 9:56 p.m. His first words were, "That's one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind." It was almost incredible. A man was actually walking on the surface of the moon. He went very carefully, almost shuffling. The world heard him describe the moon's surface. "The surface is fine and powdered, like powdered charcoal to the soles of the feet. I can see the footprints of my boots in the fine sandy particles." He then went to the side of the spacecraft and read the words written there. "Here man first set foot on the moon, July 1969. We came in peace for all mankind." 15 minutes later, the second astronaut, Buzz Aldrin, joined Armstrong on the moon. His words were, "Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful." Aldrin began to move across the dusty surface of this strange, dead world. On Earth, both men weighed about 74.84 kilos, but on the moon, they weighed a little over 11 kilos. Aldrin hopped like a kangaroo across the surface. The astronauts then began their work. They had 2 hours in which to take photographs of each other, the Eagle, and the landscape. They had buckets and spades with them to collect rocks and dust to bring back to Earth. Scientists could hardly wait to be the first to study rocks from another world. After about 2 hours on the moon's surface, the astronauts went back to the Eagle. A space scientist told us, "They are resting now and are leaving the moon in about 5 hours' time." President Nixon spoke to the astronauts, saying, "All the people on Earth are surely one in their pride of what you have done and one in their prayers that you will return safely." For the first time in mankind's history, men have left the Earth and walked on another world. They have looked at their own planet from 250,000 miles away. What was once a dream has actually happened. Spelling, page 71.
In some words, EI sounds like A. On Earth, both men weighed about 74.84 kilos.
8. Reading for enrichment, page 73.
I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an astronaut and shoot off into space. I want to float like a silver bird above the human race. I want to ride a rocket, computerized with lights. I want to go beyond the stars I've seen on winter nights. I want the Earth to watch me on their TV screens. I want them all to see me go amongst fantastic scenes. I want to be an astronaut and go to Saturn soon. I want to step onto Mars and the dark side of the moon. I want to spend my holidays in a rocket that I'll fly. I want to be an astronaut who waves our world goodbye. I want to see the other worlds and boys that aren't like me. I want to see the strangest lands and still be home for tea.